I've put aside a bunch of preconceived notions watching this show, and I've enjoyed a lot of it. But I have to say, watching someone fawn over their own grandparents is gonna get on my nerves quick.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 14, The Devil Complex. That's a name of an episode. But okay, with all the time travel stuff that's been going on, there's a lot of stuff that you might have missed. And for a second, just a second, during the opening moments, I thought we were getting Ghost Rider back. But nope, it was Hell Dimension again. Nightmare Dimension? What are they calling it? Either way, we're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we're talking about one of those episodes that kinda grates on me. But anyway, for those of you that don't know, what I do here is I review stories. I review them as they come out, or I do Throwback Thursdays on Thursdays. I come up with theory ideas on how and why we tell stories every Sunday, and if that sounds interesting to you, click subscribe to join our little family here. Either way, whether you join us or not, also let me know what you think about these episodes. Because I have to say, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have had their ups and downs, but with the rumors that this might be the last season, I'm curious what everyone thinks. But let's get into specifics.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. Ba-da-na-na.
Okay, so we didn't really deal with much of it, but we're still dealing with the consequences of Coulson and his Ghost Rider deal. We're still dealing with the consequences of them going to space, well, and the future. But we also are dealing with a nightmare dimension coming through. And right now, the way we're dealing with that is Evil Fitz from the time that he was inside the Matrix has come out and decided to play. Meanwhile, we have the oh woe is me, I want to help yo-yo. And there's part of me that understands this. What would be the most annoying thing about losing control and being injured in a major way? When the people you care about start looking at you like an invalid, like someone that needs protecting, like someone that needs to be watched over, instead of like an equal like you were. But then, like I said at the beginning, one of the most annoying parts about the episode, and it started last week. So, Deke figured out that his grandparents are Fitz and Simmons. So now he's all like, oh, I want to make sure that they're okay. I want to make sure that they have my mom. Well, I want you to think about this for a minute. There is so much about them trying not to make the future happen that even if they do get married and do have sex and do have a kid, there's no guarantee that if they change so much about the future that Deke's parents will ever meet. Not to mention, I mean, wasn't that the whole purpose of this whole time travel thing? So at this point, Deke should be less concerned about whether or not he's going to survive and exist, and more concerned with how he's going to survive and exist in the next 15 minutes to hour. But we don't have a lot of time to deal with all of that before giant killer robots break in and try to kill people and try to kidnap the Inhumans. And I can't help but feel that this is still yet another throwback to season one. The entire idea of the Deathlock program, the entire idea of weaponizing people on that list, which, yes, we didn't have Inhumans yet at the time, but now we have these robots that were built by Evil Fitz, Dr. Leopold Fitz, and they're running Inhuman experimentation. And where they don't manage to grab um, Yo-Yo, they do get Daisy. And I have to say, one of the first things that I think about when I see scenes like that is how can someone that they make out to be such a badass fighter pass out after only a few seconds of being grabbed like that? I mean, I suck. I could not fight my way out of a paper bag, but I could at least put up enough of a fight that I'd be conscious for a full minute. I guess it's partially, TV time. They need to find a way to not take up the whole episode with the fight. Meanwhile, the trap that was set for the trap went off without a hitch, and as such, one of those we know you know that we know. And Coulson goes to find out what's really going on. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling a lot like what the original story of S.H.I.E.L.D. was, back when it was Nick Fury going against the LMDs. But that story even had a lot to do with what was going on in Season 1 and Season 2. The whole idea of S.H.I.E.L.D. being infiltrated from within. Except now we have this new colonel. And you know what? It was kinda cool to see her manipulate Coulson, even if it was all part of the plan. I also have to give a shout out to one of the best lines. Wow, Hale must have your balls in a vice. No, more like his brain in a jar. That was really good of a comeback and a really great witty repartee. One of the things I love best about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is when Coulson gets to go all smart-ass, badass on people. But okay, so then we get the part where the big reveal that was obvious from the first moment that it's not from the nightmare dimension. No, it's really Fitz himself, who's got a bit of split personality and is forcing himself in, who has the whole, oh, from a certain point of view, it looks like I'm talking to someone, but I'm not. Where have I seen that before? But for better or worse, the operation's a success, and we've got Quake back. She was the key to the Gravitonium, and I guess that does spoil any hopes I had of actually getting to see Graviton, because she's able to manipulate it, put it together, and then seal the Nightmare Dimension, which hopefully means we're done with the Nightmare Dimension. The only way I want to see it come back is if we get Ghost Rider back with it, period. Then we get a touching scene between Gemma and her grandson, and all of a sudden I'm wondering why I'm still using a picture of him in the mask that he hasn't worn since like his first or second appearance. But he tells her that he knows that his grandfather was a good man, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that one scene almost redeems the fact that I didn't like the way they were playing him. But what do you think? Both about the Hale reveal and about the little comical, it's the same thing that they had with the Kree, and, of course, what's going on with Fitz and Simmons. Because I'd love to talk about all that next week when Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. are supposed to work together. And, of course, give me a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't already, because we're in for a wild ride this season. And who knows what could happen next. And I honestly think, as much as this episode didn't totally impress me, overall the concept of what's been going on all season has. So I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to see what you took from the episode that I didn't, so that we can get together and get to the heart of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Please be a Captain Marvel reference next week. Please be a Captain Marvel reference next week.